New analysis here. The Litecoin short, for example, is something to look over. So we were looking at this structure over here, between here and actually I didn't draw this line, but I think that it's worthy enough to draw um, this triangular structure here. And yeah, I mean, I didn't draw that probably because the more relevant line is here, and I drew a parallel channel to see how that would look. But if we just, no, I think I'll leave the lines on because otherwise, because they're quite important. So what we're seeing here is a 786. We had a touch on it, we bounced off it, we came back and we broke through it. So it's really not great for the bulls. I think there's a very good chance we come down to test 887 now that this 786 has been sort of quite decidedly broken through, where we had a wick pushing us up, but now another red candle taking us down, and yeah, just looking quite bearish. And the weekly, we came up, we tested the 21 and the 50, we broke bearish, came towards the 21, broke bearish. So things are not looking good for the bulls here. And if we now, I suppose we can look at the 100 and the 200. These are the moving averages. Yeah, well, we're below them as well. So really nothing to hold support for here anywhere. Even the EMA, everything, we're below it at the moment. Right, so let's take those out now. And then, of course, the RSI is coming down with lower lows, lower highs. The MACD is actually ticking up here, which is interesting to note, showing that the momentum might be about to change because we have a lower low here, but a higher high on the MACD. So that's something worthy to look out for, but then again, the MACD still has this bearish crossover, and yeah, things are starting to tick towards the upside, certainly. Probably due to this consolidation and this move up over here. So not all bearish on the weekly. On the daily, we're seeing, so again, I drew this line, just this is the support, the major support line I'm seeing. You can see that the previous support of down here, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this channel because I'm not crazy about keeping that channel in. I don't know if it's that relevant. Let's just have a look at these supports here. So we have, honestly, I'm not even that crazy about this one. I think I'm just going to keep in the major support here, because if we draw this line here, or even if we draw it here, you can have several of these lines, right? Look, one, you could do it here, and this starts to take us to some very low regions. On the 887, there's not even any confluence there, so I'm just going to take these out. And it seems pretty clear that this is the major line to be watching. And if that's the case, then we could very easily see another touchdown on this line before moving up. In any case, the daily, we haven't quite yet touched the 21. I think this is the EMA. Yes, it is. So not thrilled about a bearish position here. I mean, in the sense that we still have a long way to go up. Potentially, we could literally come up to $50. And so the risk to reward is not great here. In other words, like, I think that we are probably going to have another move down, but you know, especially if you look at it on the daily, you know, the risk to reward ratio is just really bad right now. Then if we, and of course we can look at the RSI. So the RSI is quite a bit higher than its previous low. Of course we are higher on the price, but not much. We could easily see a bullish divergence on the next low. And the MACD is ticking up certainly, and maybe ready for a move to either direction now. Still bearish crossover here. So mostly still looking quite bearish. On the 4 hour, well, you can see we entered a short. It was about over here, I think, in this region. Took some profit here, came up, had my stop loss, fortunately, above where we topped out. 46.5 or something. But we didn't close above that, and now we're in this channel, this quite clearly defined channel, right? Put this in blue. And the interesting thing to note is that we have 618 is here, so we might see another bounce here, pushing us up. So a nice bounce over here. We tried over here and we failed, so now we're up there and we're all the way down here again. It seems pretty bearish. It seems like we're headed for another move down, and yeah, very possibly all the way down here. So on the daily, I don't really love it, but on the 4-hour, you can justify by saying, all right, well, we have a clear resistance up here. Up here, right? Which coincides with the 4-hour 21 moving average. We have an attempt at the 66, the fib zone support, which succeeded here, and then we tried, failed, didn't even make a move up, took out previous low, created this triple top here. It's just, it doesn't seem bullish at all right now. And so it just seems more than likely that we will see another move down. And actually, I was targeting, I think I did a one-to-one extension here. That's right, and we got the one-to-one. I was targeting down there. So the problem is that if you enter short here, then you need a really big stop loss all the way up to there. That's 4%. And then you're targeting what, like, you could target the previous low, you could target this. I think it's more likely that we'll reach here before we got there, but we could also see some consolidation, maybe some more tightening range here before we come down. So I'm not too sure. Let's have a look at MACD. Yeah, it's looking pretty bearish. Although we are ticking up here. It's kind of all over the place, ticking up, ticking down, ticking up, ticking down. 4 hours still decidedly bearish though. So overall, I think that it's more likely than not that we will see another move down, but that the risk to reward of actually shorting here is not that great. So I think that I will stay in the position in about 15% of the position nonetheless, and just play that out until the previous low at least. Yeah, until this 48.75 level, and take most of my profit already here.